Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something that exposes the ugliest side of early 2000s celebrity culture. A story that's not about red carpets or awards, but about survival. This is the story of Keira Knightley's horrifying experience with paparazzi harassment, where photographers didn't just invade her privacy. They hurled verbal abuse at her, screaming slurs like "war" and "slut," all to get a reaction. Keira Knightley, the star who stole hearts in Pirates of the Caribbean, Pride and Prejudice, and Atonement, was only a teenager when Hollywood threw her into a spotlight that quickly turned toxic.
Except for a sense of honour and decency and a moral centre. And personal hygiene.
In a raw and emotional interview with The Times UK, she opened up about how that fame came with an unbearable price: years of relentless stalking, fear, and emotional exhaustion. She recalled, "I remember waking up one day, and there were 10 men outside my front door, and they didn't leave for about 5 years. 5 years. Imagine living every single day knowing that a group of strangers was waiting outside your home, watching your every move, shouting vile insults to provoke you." Keira admitted, "Oh, I did go mad. Believe me, I went mad. I just managed to hide it." It's a haunting line, and it gives us a glimpse of just how much she was suffering behind her calm public image. When the interviewer asked her what these photographers would shout to get a reaction, her answer was deeply disturbing. She said, "War! It was mostly war. Slut sometimes, particularly if I was with someone, a boyfriend, my brother, or my dad. Let that sink in. They weren't just trying to take a photo, they were trying to humiliate her, to make her or her loved ones angry enough to lash out so they could catch it on camera and sell it to tabloids." Keira explained, "They were trying to get a reaction out of them, provoking people into punching them so they could sue. It wasn't journalism, it was calculated cruelty." This wasn't an isolated experience either. It was part of a much larger culture of harassment that consumed young female celebrities during the early 2000s. It was the same era that broke stars like Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan, a time when paparazzi chased stars off roads, taunted them, and sold photos of breakdowns for massive profits. Keira remembered, "They were forcing people off the roads, then getting even bigger money for pictures of a crashed actress. And then Britney shaved her head and it was like, great, we can push them into doing something crazy." It was a system built to destroy, and she was living in the middle of it. In an effort to protect herself, Keira tried everything. She even began switching between 2 apartments to throw photographers off her trail. But it didn't work. Some of them went as far as renting an apartment opposite hers, just to ensure she could never escape their lens. That level of intrusion pushed her into what she described as hypervigilance. She said, "My dad said, you should be in the CIA because I knew when people were following me. It was a physical feeling. But that constant alertness came at a cost." She began to question her own sanity. And then, of course, you start worrying you're going mad, like, were they really following me or was I imagining it? Every time she checked the papers, she found proof she wasn't imagining it. There she was, every day, photographed, her private life sold to the public. Eventually, Keira realized that the only way to fight back was to stop playing their game. She started using what she called passive resistance. Her strategy became boring. She said she gave away most of her clothes, and whenever she noticed she was being followed, she would just stop. "I'd literally stand there, stock still. One day I stood there for 5 hours. If you're still there, I'm not going." Can you imagine that kind of determination? To stand in one place for 5 straight hours, refusing to move, refusing to give them what they wanted? That's how desperate she was to reclaim even a shred of control. This nightmare eventually drove her to step away from Hollywood for a while. She disappeared from the spotlight, traveling anonymously, finally tasting freedom again. When she returned, she did it on her own terms, choosing projects that inspired her, performing on stage, and keeping her private life fiercely guarded. Keira Knightley's story isn't just about fame. It's about how the system failed young women, turning their lives into entertainment, and how she found the strength to survive it. Today, she continues to shine with grace and quiet resilience, appearing in acclaimed projects like The Woman in Cabin 10, and the upcoming season of Black Doves.
Will you promise me that you will keep my family safe? And you will keep me alive?
But her story remains a chilling reminder of what fame once cost and why no amount of success is worth losing your peace of mind. What do you think about Keira's story? Do you think the paparazzi culture of that era permanently changed how celebrities protect their privacy today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories from Hollywood's past and present. Thanks for watching. Stay kind, stay curious, and remember, behind every headline is a real person just trying to live their life.